All right, so I'm going to do a loose painting. Crystal Piera on Instagram said that I could use this photo as long as I gave her credit, so I'm doing that. She's a Montreal painter, artist. She does prints, she does paintings. She's amazing, and I love her Nocturne series that she's done. Lots of nighttime with glowing lights. But I'm going to do it in watercolor and see what happens when I work on the Canson XL 9 by 12 Canson XL pad. And I have a couple brushes. I'm planning on only using 2 brushes. That's it. And we'll see how this goes. I am not doing this as a lesson. This is just me playing in the studio. If you like this type of video, click that subscribe button, share with your friends, support me on Patreon, all the good things. I also have coloring books and downloadables. So coloring books on Amazon and on Teespring. Come along, let's just jump in and play. I am going to try some things that are a little bit weird, like putting this water on and trying to get kind of an idea of where things are going to go. I am doing it up on my easel. This is watercolor and it's at probably an 80-degree angle, so it's up high. And that's good. I'm going to take some of those Decadent Pies watercolors. This is the kind of a Prussian-y blue. It's their number 35. I'm going to put that in here. And let's just see what happens. I have put water. I can see I didn't get it all the way down to here. So there's sort of the top of a roof line thing going off at an angle. And this is the night sky. So it's lots of juicy color. This area right here, I kind of left a little bit. I need to bring that down just a little bit. This is sort of where the stoplight is, and it's glowing and it has lots of color. I'm going to grab that, sort of pull back up just a little bit. Let's see here. There's another sign that's sort of in the middle, so I'll come down like this. It's a lot darker. I'm going to actually, while it's still wet, I'm just putting the darker color in, and we'll let it flow around. I don't know. You know, I've never done anything like this way. So I see that the buildings and stuff are pretty dark. Then there's some cars, so I'm going to try and leave a little bit of space for the cars. I'm not too worried about the pole, but I am going to put some of the dark in between where the signs go. The paper is wet. There's some building-y things back here. And there are some trees. They're going to be really dark, so I'm not too worried. Just grabbing some of that. And I will be letting the sky dry before I put everything in. But I'm going to go in with some permanent alizarin crimson mixed with some cadmium red. Yeah, that'll be good. I don't want it to be too pink. I do want it to be sort of stoplight. I am going to just put that light in and let it glow. And there's a hot spot right in the middle. So I am going to grab a paper towel and put my finger in it and see if I can get a spot. Of high color, really bright. Ooh, that's good. I think that works. Now the right over here on this side is the kind of walk signal, I guess is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of this like that for the walk signal. I am going to go ahead and just drag down some dark. There's cars along the way here, up to about that point. There's cars on the other side of the road here. There's another sign. That other sign. I'm not, again, not too worried about placing these perfectly. This is an exercise in seeing what kind of an abstract painting I can get. A little bit of some glow in here, so I'm actually going to get that wet. And I'll take some, maybe some yellow. It's going to go a little greeny, but that's okay. There's a bit of a red edge to it also, from the reflection of this light. There's a bit of a don't enter sign right there. I am doing this with the 3/4 inch flat wash brush. I see another sign that I kind of like. But I also see there's like this light and shadow on the ground. And I wonder if the phthalo blue and ultramarine blue, and then a lot of water. That's not dark enough blue. I think I'm going to put a little Prussian blue into it, or Payne's gray. I'll add Payne's gray to it. There we go. Lots of water. And I'm going to kind of come along here. That sign actually is in front of everything there. So I just want to remember that it's there. That sign's there. There's kind of a snowbank shadow on that side, maybe a little bit more of the Payne's gray. Ooh, there we go. There's some little footprints. They're getting kind of mixed up with each other. Randomy footprinty things. There's just the tiniest touch of that color in that snow over there. There's a bit of a shadow of this sign. There's a bit of a shadow that's running along here. Those cars are a lot smaller. Going to the back. I'm going to clean that out just a little bit because there's some cars going way back. But they're kind of blurred out, so I'm not going to worry about them too much. That sign. Whoa, that was exciting. All right, let's grab some of that blue. I'm gonna have to go darker there. I'm gonna have to go really dark for the buildings here. So I'm gonna take more of that Payne's gray with some of that Prussian blue. This is not wet into wet. little things. I know it's the roof, but it almost makes me feel like it's a almost like it is mountains in the back there. Okay, so that there, and then we have this other sign. Not sure what that sign means. This is in Canada, so Canadian signs can be different than US signs. It's probably some type of don't do this, or there's something that goes on in this area. So just using this flat brush, I want to stay loose. Don't want to get too precious about any of the details. See, there's some windows and maybe a balcony. I just wanted to know where some light colored stuff was so that I can fill in around it with the really dark. There we go. There's a little red fire hydrant right down here. I think I'm going to keep that. The cars really don't start until way back there, so I can just... There's like a staircase thing that goes up. This is really dark. This is an exercise. This is not a realistic or finished painting. I see kind of a bright light down there. So I'll go ahead and do that. There's some like little reflections of light back up here. And there's like antenna stuff, things on top of that building. I will use a liner brush and put in, oh, I like those. Oh, the little corner there. Hee hee. Cool. Oh, I like that. Strange little things. Strange little things. It's much darker right there. And now these windows are dark also, but they're kind of a different dark because you can actually still see them. So I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to represent that. Maybe just a slightly different shade of the blue. I think the railings on here are going to be shown. Actually, the railings are much darker, so I'm going to actually do the sort of the space between the rails. Ah, look at that. Space between the rails. Let's see. I like that. Kind of just a indication that there might be some light shining. I like that. All right. It doesn't have to be any more detailed than that. This part right here has the little eyeballs. I like that glow. I don't want to mess with that glow. So you really can't see any color in these. There's a lot of shadow, dark. There's two separate boxes on that. Nothing too detailed. Don't be precious. You know, like, there's no way I can draw a bicycle with this brush. I'm just not doing it. But I am going to put my little fire hydrant in with this, because it's going to just be, straighten it out. There's going to be a little top, wider bit. Doesn't take much. Give you that little idea. Maybe it's slightly darker, and I need a little bit of the, get some shadow in there. See, not much, not much. Just some color. It's just color. Just a touch. I think I'm gonna go like, oh, maybe I will. Take a little bit of that pink into the road. I like that. Maybe there's no cars showing right here. The cars are just really super simple shapes. They're not going to be, I'm gonna take Prussian. I'm gonna put a blop, leave a little bit, come back, put a little bit of a hood on it. There's lots of snow. It's just things on the side of the road. It just disappears. There's snow on them. That's just going to be much darker. And it looks like that's a yellow in between those bars. So I'm going to go with, and maybe I'll grab that gold because on my Decadent Pies, because it's a kind of a nice yellow hue. Not too bright. Might be a little reflective. That might be what's going on. Might be a little reflective. All right, this one right there. Ooh, just got a drip of water on. I'm going to bring some of the dark around, and then I'm going to go in and make a glow. Look at that. Super simple. And you know, I'm going to see how well this paint lifts. I want to bring that out to be a little bit lighter. And I think that one right there. And that one right there. Wow. Okay, there's a little bit of a little bit more of a bank right up around the bottom of that pole. There's a bit of a line here. A little bit of shadow. Now I'm just going to, I like that bit of pink. I think I'm going to pull some of it out here. Kind of into that ground. Wow. You know, doing things like this, keeping it loose, keeping it free and easy, I think is so fun. I've not done things like this before. This is totally outside of my bailiwick here. Crazy little car. Another crazy little car back there. Just ideas of vehicles. They're not So there are some trees and things in here, but I think I'm leaving the tree out. I do want to put the one kind of like power pole. It's not as high as that light. It's about halfway between those. You see the top of it there. There. Of course, I just did it the wrong angle. That way, that way. Not worried about it. You know what? If things end up in strange places, that could just end up becoming part of the wires. There's that. There's all those little capacitor, insulator thingies. And I may take a smaller brush to put in my wires. Just because. Ooh, there is a thing here coming off this way. I think there's a street light just outside of the view. I am going to do something like that. And get a little bit of that light spill. Whew, I like that. That worked really well. This paint lifted pretty well on here. I am looking at this going, well, if it lifts that well, maybe I'll, see. I don't want to mess up my really cool sky up here though. So I think I'm getting to the point of, oh, something I'm seeing in here. Let's see if I can. Get a couple splats and see if I can pull out just a little bit of color. I want to pull out just a little bit of the color. And the reason why is because I see snow, and it's that big splatty snow or driving snow. I can make it into whatever I want it to be, right? I want to bring some over here just a little bit. Whoops, not. Boo. I'm flicking water in my face. There we go. Just gently lifting out random bits. See a little bit of that over here too. Just water. And not rubbing, pressing down, whatever comes off. Texture. We're doing texture, dudes. That spot is bothering me. I want it to be a little darker. Okay. It's around that. It's going into those cars. Not too. Get that a little darker there. Okay, now I'm just dragging a little bit of the paint that's on here over some of those really light, bright white spots. There's some wet paint, and it is flowing around when I touch it. I think that's okay. That's really cool. Got those footsteps. We've got this sort of pink glow. It's bringing that red tone that's up here down there. I think. Let's see if I can pull. Ooh, I can pull a little bit of a reflection off of those. There's a little reflection here. Yeah. I'm not being super precious though. I do want to put a little bit of a pole there and a little bit more on that pole right there and a bit more on that pole there. There's some things going down the road that way. Not going to go too far with that. Just a barely there indication. Although I do see right back here tiny bright. Actually, it's right about here. I'm going to soften that up. Dab it out just a bit. I'm going to grab just a touch of that red. And then put a dot of water in it and dab it out. There. Whoa. You know what? I really like this. I don't think I'm going to mess with this anymore. This was so much fun. I really appreciate you guys being here. I will sign it and then just leave it to dry. I think that is all I needed to do, and I only did it with that 1 3/4 inch wash brush again. I think I'm going to put my signature down here. And there we go. Whoa. I think that's a lot of fun. I hope you do too. I really appreciate you being here. I love that you are loving this type of art. I want to do more of it as we progress through the year. Remember, make sure to go out and do something creative. Take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you. And I'll be back with more behind the scenes studio stuff, painting, and lessons. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.